stealth, speed, and surprise.
One of the worst things you can do in life is assume something, when in reality you've been wrong this whole time. And that's one of the things in my life that I have been constantly trying to improve on. What's up guys, Magic Knives here, and today you're watching some Black Ops 3 knife only TDM on the map Infection. It's pretty beast gameplay. I get some good moments in this gameplay. There are quite many campers in this gameplay, I should mention, on both sides, and you'll see the first moment here. I jump through the window here, and there's at least 2 to 3 guys here with trophy systems and land trip mines, and you're gonna keep seeing that in the next little bit of this gameplay. And see, every time I clear them out, they just run back into this building, and I get a nice triple feed right there, which is pretty nice, and I get another guy right there. But anyways, aside from the gameplay, we always making assumptions. If we don't make assumptions, then we become catatonic, we freeze up, we just end up not doing anything at all that we should be doing. Now, that being said, we don't always know when we're making assumptions, but we always have to be aware when we are making assumptions, if that makes any sense. Because, you know, whenever, for example, whenever you are crossing a street, and based on the traffic lights, you know, the universal signals of a traffic sign is green means go, red means stop, yellow means be careful. Now, once the light turns green, you walk across the street with a certain amount of confidence. And that's because you make an assumption based on the universal signal that green means go. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is I recently just bought a new airsoft gun, and in case you don't know, I like to play airsoft, which is the kind of the more realistic version of like paintball and stuff like that. And I play on average maybe once a week or a couple times every 2 weeks. Great exercise for me, but so I got a VFC, a Vega Force Company M4 rifle, and I'll put a quick picture up for you guys to see that. So I just recently got that, and the field that I play at is close quarters battlefield, CQB, and so they have when it comes to indoor play, there is a 380 FPS limit, at least with most indoor airsoft facilities. Now, I just got this gun a few days ago. Now it's been about a week, and you know, I purchased it. It was around like $500, which is quite expensive, I know, but you know, you get what you pay for, and it shoots really well in my opinion. It's got a good fire rate and stuff. And now, after I bought the gun, I made the assumption, because they told me the version that I got was a CQB version. Now I made the wrong assumption that because they simply said it's a CQB version of an airsoft rifle, I assumed that it was under the 380 FPS limit. However, I just assumed that, and I didn't even bother to really check the FPS limit on my gun. Well, when I finally got to the next few days, I finally got a chance to go to the airsoft field that I play at. I had to chrono my gun, or test my gun, to make sure it was under the FPS limit. Now, because I made that assumption, I like that kill at the window, by the way, but I just assumed that my gun would meet the FPS limit, but it turned out my gun was shooting at 383, 384, which was, I mean, barely just over the limit. And I made the assumption that I made the wrong assumption that my gun was fine to use, when in reality it was too hot to use on the indoor airsoft field. So unfortunately, they denied me access to play that day. So the only thing I just did, and there's a couple options whenever you have a too hot of a gun. You can either just change the spring out of it, or in my case, I just had to work the gun in more to lower the FPS. And when I did further research on the gun itself, the version that I got, turns out the FPS limit straight out of the box is around 390, and that's something I should have realized beforehand, or at least should have asked when I got the airsoft gun, in which case I should have probably worked the gun in more before I paid my money to try and play that day. Otherwise I wouldn't have had to go through that issue. So anyways, guys, whenever you always be aware when you're making assumptions, otherwise you're bound to make a mistake, or you just end up being wrong the whole time. So, you know, in life you're always gonna make assumptions no matter what, but just be aware of them, and just be sure and be absolutely sure. Don't be afraid to ask questions like that, and you will not, hopefully you will not die from those assumptions. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this gameplay, and hope to see you guys in my future videos. Peace, guys.